massage the ground with your feet, if you can kind of figure out what that's like. So push the big toe mounds into the ground, roll onto the outer edges of your feet, smush the ground with your feet, caress the ground, however you want to interpret this. And what this may start to do for you also is help you feel the ball and socket joint of your ankles, right? So as you're circling here and massaging and pushing and pulling, you can start to feel some differentiation in the joints. And then start to just stomp your feet and notice if you feel most of the impact in one place. Maybe it's the heel, maybe you're more forward on your feet. And you guys are moving totally in sync. And then just pitter patter, just lightly, not big time. We'll do that later. And then pause. Now come up onto the ball of your right foot. So step back just a little bit. So your heel is really lifted. And then just give it a good little circle here. So like the thing you always want to do when you're wearing high heels, right? Like just get off that same spot you're on the foot. I know I talk about high heels all the time and I have not worn them in years. And then go ahead and switch. So lower your lift your left heel and then circle it around, circle the heel around. Notice the rolling onto the outer and inner edges of your foot, the ball of the foot. And now alternate right and left. So lifting and lowering. Focus on the lift of your heels, but more movement may come through into the rest of your body. And then now add that component of massaging the ground with your feet. And your feet massaging themselves through the movement. Good. Good. Now, let's start to pick up one foot and then the other. So pointing the toes, pushing off the balls of your feet to lift your knees. Yeah. Good. And this is when we're moving really fast and we're doing that jogging in place, you're not going to be able to feel this that much, but you can use this sort of the propulsion from the push of the foot into the ground to lift the knees. So let's try that. Woo! Little lift, 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 lift. Again, not too serious. We'll get deeper into it once we're warmer. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Notice what feels good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Bring your hands together at your heart. And as this is sort of a fusion class of yoga and movement and other things, let's just take a moment to set intention. So close your eyes. Feel the shape, if you can, that you're making with your body. And then perhaps you can also pay attention to how the shape that you're making relates to the outer space around you. And as we prepare for practice today, I invite you also to take a moment to acknowledge something you're grateful for and let that fuel your practice if that resonates with you. And we'll take a deep breath in for Om. Inhale. Enjoy your practice. I'm going to turn the music on. Just give me the thumbs up when you can hear it. I'm going to bring it a little closer. When you can, it's going to take a moment. Let's take a shift from side to side. So widen your feet. And then use the push of your foot off the ground to bring movement. Let your arms be soft. So this doesn't have to look a certain way. It can just be the movement, what you're actually creating for yourself. And then give it a little more push. And then add a little throw to the arms. Nice. Good, keep going. And then maybe look over your shoulder. So we add tasks. We start from the feet. We create the push and the spiral. And then the vision is a component that guides us in where we're going, right? So we can start in one place and let that first initiating movement unfold. Good, 2 more. And 1 more. And then let's come to pause, stretch the arms out wide. And start to bring curves to the arms. I'm going to play with the sound a little bit here. I'm not sure why it's not cooperating. It's okay, we'll just keep moving. So add curves to your arms, right? So from the delicate fingers into the wrists, you can keep shifting from side to side. Elbows bend, fold in and unfold. Shoulders have the chance to roll, turning on the faucets of your shoulders. Let your arms start to burn, right? In a good way. So the flesh, the muscles want to work, right? Keep working them. Keep going. So circling, describing shapes around you, decorating the space around you. Lose the front of your mat. So start to look around, move around. Keep decorating the space with your movement. Circling, curving, reaching, painting. Maybe you have a certain color in mind that you'd like to decorate the space with. Keep going. Keep turning. Make sure you cover every spot. Let your arms really work. So every time you feel like you've done one movement one time too many, check out a different movement. Maybe move into your back space. Maybe you add a little back stroke here. Now start to notice how the scapula, as they slide on and off your back, create engagement here. Good, and now let's focus on the scapula. So come to a wide stance, bend your elbows into the sides of your body. And then we're just gonna straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. And every time that you go to tuck the elbows into the sides of your body, right? Notice how that coming together, how that it feels for you, like what it does for your psyche. Does it feel comforting to come back in? Does it elicit some kind of response in your body? Good. Now let's make fists. So draw the elbows in, make fists with your hands. Good, good. And now let's stretch the arms forward. So now different vantage point for your scapula. Each time that you pull your arms back, notice the muscles that you can feel on your back. Keep going, stay focused. And everything about the way we work here is about bringing your mind into your body, right? So it's so much about the experience internally and how you're organizing yourself around the movement. So you can always modify, you can always take it down by 10 or 20%, right? You can always turn the volume down. Except I can't seem to turn the volume up on my music, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Sorry about that. Next time I'll figure that out. Keep going. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now hold, step your feet together. In fact, zip up your legs. Make yourself this little kind of compressed, bent-kneed shape. Hold your fists as tight as you can, and then lift your heels. Good, take a big breath in, and then go ahead and release your arms and reach them forward. Now lower your heels down, lift your arms higher. chair pose. And turn around again. Diver's pose. Swing your arms back, lift your heels. Now stretch your arms high, straighten your legs. Bend your knees, diver's pose, swing. Inhale, rise. Exhale, and that's it. So we're gonna stay here for about a minute. And as you're moving here, right, you can stay on my rhythm. You can go faster or slower. And you can consider this a bit of a warm-up for your spine, right? So a lot of cow spine, maybe a little bit more extension on the arms up. About 30 more seconds. If you want to add a little something, you can add a little hop. But you don't have to make that sound. A little hop, a little hop, a little hop, getting some heat building, letting your heart start to beat a little faster. Keep going. A little hop. A little hop. Almost a Peter Brady moment. One more time. Good. And then take your arms up high and give them a little shake. Start to shake your legs and your arms. Shake your fingers, elbows, hips. Keep shaking for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and come to still. Still on the outside, but moving on the inside. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, open your eyes, push your hands forward. So now we'll take the cat spine. So a moment ago we were working more cow, now cat. So tip your tailbone, bring it underneath you, press your palms forward, and hold here. Push away, pull the ribs back, push your hands forward, pull the ribs back. Pelvis is neutral. And then an easy standing up for a bird pose. And then we'll bend the knees, round the spine, straight to chest. And now start to move like this, as slowly as you want, or as quickly. So if you're feeling like you want to get your yayas out and you want to go faster, you can go faster. If you want to take it slowly and stretch and find the push and the pull, we're going to be working with that in a second. So push, 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 push. Pull ribs back, stand up, pull the heart forward. Stay with this. Maybe close your eyes for a moment. We'll stay a little longer, breathing and moving. Finding the ways that the back body is widening, right? The ribs widen, the scapula pull off the ribs. There's core engagement here. So, right, so you're sort of gathering up the front of your body, sucking the belly in. Okay, now just for fun, because Beyonce's in the house, even though you can't hear her, we're gonna do a little bit of this. So ribs forward, tailbone back, and you can kind of play with this, so turning around in your space, you can make your arms move alongside the body, keeping the fingers and the hands easy. Find a little beat for yourself, so we're still kind of in the rhythm section of our movement, just pulsing, pulsing, taking a walk around the space perhaps. And now let's add a stomp. So now I'll give you the rhythm. It's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Good, and you could MC hammer. Oh God, did I really say that? You could a running minute if you want, or you could just stay with us. And you can make sound too. Keep going. Let's take it a little faster. And I know it would be better if you can hear the music. Good. And bring it to just a stance. Begin to circle your hips. Sway. Figure 8. So the ball and socket joint of your hips, right? Femur bone coming up into the pelvis. As we clear whatever holding is happening in that area, know that the movement, each repetition of the movement, if this makes you smile, that's good. The repetition clears out the gunk. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. Shake your tail, circle around. Okay, now let it be really disorganized. So you're moving from your pelvis. It's gonna feel really awkward, but move from your tail, move from your pelvis. You can move the upper body with it. Try to be as chaotic and disorganized as you can in your hips. Ow! Okay, enough of that. Let's float. Back to curves, back to decorating your space. But now we add the hips. So the folding in of the arms, the curving of the ball and socket joint. Right now we turn in our space and we add this component of the hips moving. And maybe there's that little bit of pulsation from a moment ago through the chest. So you're finding your groove. Yeah, that looks great, everybody. That's awesome. Let's go for 10. Give it all you got. Be as disorganized as you can. Keep changing it. Let it be weird. Let it be happy. Let it be fun. Really let something go. Woo! Did I say it was going to be for 10? Let's go 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and float. Now let's move around with our float. So you can get off your mat and let your float be informed by the idea of letting gravity win, right? So gravity wins, it drops you down in yourself, and then negating gravity, right? So you're fighting, you're negating gravity, and then you're letting gravity win. Move around your space. Use your feet now. You know where they are, and you know what they can do for you, right? So you're pushing, you're pulling. Negate gravity, and then let it take on. Maybe you stay in that gravitational pull for a little moment, and then you pop right up out of it. So when our systems get a chance to experience both this succumbing to gravity, right, this heaviness, and in balance with lightness, right, we can balance our system energetically. And it also is nice because it helps us feel like, okay, we know where the ground is, and we know what the infinite, unlimited qualities are above us. Okay, let's come to stand. And let's take a little stomp. And now get a little deeper into the legs. And a little flatter on your feet. And then take a little easy, lazy, it's Sunday morning, walk, wag your tail, let your arms swing, let your legs get really dense, express something out, find that balance of cat and cow. Good, and then let's just hang over the legs. And bend your knees if you need to. And bend, in fact, let's alternate bending right knee and left knee. And then make your way back to downward facing dog. So hands forward, feet back. Let's take a good 5 breaths here. So look at your alignment. Hands are shoulder width apart, feet are hips width apart. And then all of that movement that we just did right now can inform your down dog. So the curves in the spine, right? The engagement through the legs. The release in the ribs and the torso. The ease in your pelvis, right? That nice, easy feeling. And then the opening of your eyes and ears and senses to the rest of the experience. Let's come on out to a plank pose. Take a moment now to pause and plank. So plank is our reminder of listening to our strength. Right? So listen to the ways that you can work here. How can you push the ground away? Can you reach through your heels more? Can you zip up the front line of your body even more? And then soften at the same time. Keep all that in balance. And take a big breath in here. And then lower your knees down and sit back to child's pose. And let your head be soft, maybe roll from side to side. A little shift in the ribs, a little shift in the hips. And then let's come up to all fours. We're going to work the legs from a couple different perspectives or vantage points. First one is to come down to the elbows. Lift your right knee up towards the sky. Kick your heel up. Keep your hips square. And we'll just pulse. Pulse. And find a rhythm that works for you. Something that, that you can keep going with. Something that's a steadying rhythm. A pulse, 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 pulse. Let the muscles burn. Give it more. So a really good embodiment practice will show you how much is the right amount. What's enough? What's not enough? What do you need right now? Okay, let's go 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, prop yourself up on your left hand. So press your left hand into the ground. You're going to swivel your left knee so that the shin is parallel to the back of your mat. And now you'll extend your right leg. So your right arm's in the sky and the right leg is hip height. And then you're going to lower and lift and lower and lift and lower and lift. Now you could point or flex your foot here, whichever feels more engaging for you. Or you could even alternate if that's not too confusing. Good, keep going. So when you feel those moments, or you have those moments where you feel like your body's sort of crumbling in the shape, continue to find the reach and the stretch. So you support yourself in the movement. Hello legs, right? Yeah, good, 1 more. And then you're gonna put your right hand down, swivel back to look down, and then curl your left toes under, lift your right leg up and back, down dog split. And you don't have to transition that way. You could go to down dog first, and then relift your right leg. Same right leg, come on out to 3-legged plank. You could tap your toes to the ground or your ankle, and then 3-legged dog, 5 times. Come forward, 3-legged plank, and then 3-legged dog. Listening to your strength here. Working the legs. And now you may think that this is about the right leg lifting, but actually the left leg is just as engaged as the right. 1 more. And then bring your right shin to the ground in front, between your thumbs, and then swing your right leg up and back. 4 more times like that. Bring your knee forward, and back and up, and forward, and back and up, and 2 more, and back and up, and 1 more. Good. In downward facing dog, you can rest here for 5 breaths, or come to child's pose if your arms need a rest. Good. 3 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and last one, inhale, and exhale. And then come to your knees, come to stand on your knees before we take the second side. Stand up, on your knees I mean, and then bend your elbows. We're going to push the chest forward and up. Keep squeezing the elbows back into the sides of the body, and then put your hands on your waist. And then breathe and open through the front line. So modified camel pose. Watch that the hips don't push forward too much. You want them sort of more in line with your legs. And then rise up. I'm going to turn towards you. Interlace your hands above your head. And you're going to sweep your left hip down to the outside of your left heel and then back up, and then your right hip. Now, if this doesn't feel good on your knees, just shift from side to side like this. So you can kind of play with this. You can also circle around and up. I'm going to leave you on your own here for a moment. Play with this movement. So we're opening up the outer hip, but also finding the reach through the arms, right? So you work that nice center line connection and awareness, really. Circling, if you like, scooting your tush back, hips out to the side, little massage in the ball and socket joint. You can repeat one side and then the other. Nice. Okay, let's take the second side. Lower your arms. So come to your forearms, hands and knees. And the left heel is going to kick up towards the sky and go into a pulse here. And pulse. Pulse. And as you're pulsing here, if the right hip flexor gets a little compressed or too congested, shift a little more weight into your left arm. You can also make a fist with your hands here. Try not to let the hips dip too far, or the knee, in fact, that left knee. Good, take about 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Right hand comes down. You're going to swivel your right shin so that it's more behind you. Left leg high. Arms extend. And then you'll lower and lift. And lower and lift. And lower and lift. And lower and lift. Say hello to your legs. You can tell your legs that you love them. I love you, legs. Keep going. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Good. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now left hand comes down. Look down, curl your right toes under, left leg goes high. And then we come to a 3-legged plank and a 3-legged dog. And alternating forward and back. Use the push of your hands into the ground to lift your hips up. Integrate through your work, right? So you decide how much you're going to engage here. 2 more. I lost track of the count, I know. 1 more. And then we bring the shin forward. So knee comes between the thumbs and then back and up. And knee comes forward and back and up. And knee comes forward and back and up. And forward and up. And last one. And then lower your left foot to meet your right foot. Pause in down dog or take a child's pose. Wrap the triceps. Press your palms. Stretch your fingers. Feel more of the places that you're opening through your activation, through activating the stretch. Breathe. And then walk your hands to your feet and your feet to your hands. So maybe step to the middle of your mat and round yourself up to stand. Once you get to the top, give yourself a little shake. And then we're going to start to take a little jog. Shake it out, jog it out. Okay, make fists, elbows are swinging. Nice and easy, a little faster maybe. Knees up. Now turn to your right, look over your left shoulder. Take a little faster. Woo! Good for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the other way. Knees to the left, look over your right shoulder. Go. A little faster. Give it more. swing. Good, 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 good. And for 5, turn up the volume. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now fall into movement. So one foot pushes off the ground and propels you through the space. Falling back, falling into it. Take this as your most creative lunging, right? So pushing forward, pushing back, letting yourself be disorganized and just falling into it. So now we add the push of the feet with this idea that we can negate gravity and we can succumb to gravity, right? Move as you like. Maybe you add a twist to it, but really let the muscles burn. Let yourself get warm, right? Work a little more. And now add a little more lightness to it. So the dropping, right, and the rising become more pronounced, right? They're a little different. They're very different. Shifting weight from one side to the other, connecting with your masculine and feminine sides, and balancing them through the movement. Now maybe you add a little hop to it, right? And a sweep. One leg and then the other. A little lift. Make it sweet and playful and easygoing and interesting. Be creative, be curious. You might want to add a little curving of the arms. Be curious about how your legs can move you, how your feet can motivate your legs, and how you can keep decorating the space with your creativity, with the sweetness of the moment. Good, now let's just float. And turn down the volume maybe 30-40%. So less curves, more stretch. Still decorating the space. Still finding a shift from right to left. Discovering places in your body that might feel like they need more attention. Now start to create or explore the distance between things, right? So the distance between your fingertips and your shoulder, the distance between your navel and your pelvis, the distance between your nose and your tail,